lovely good evening to you, our viewers. Welcome to our news. We apologize for starting the news late. However, we are here. The story is making headlines on our desk. Free education comes to life in 2022 as government proposes an ambitious 173 billion kwacha national budget. The Patriotic Front shifts binoculars to the 2022 national budget. High Court commences hearing of the Democratic Party in Harry Kalava's case. In international news, ECOWAS delegation in Guinea meets with new government. And in sports news, SOLSKJAER reportedly has 3 guns to serve his job at TRAFFORD.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
The news in detail. Lusaka's George compound residents are concerned about the increased record of diarrheal diseases such as typhoid. Recently, Health Minister Sylvia Masebo on the floor of Parliament called for concerted efforts from community members in ensuring that the disease outbreak is dealt with. In that statement, the minister disclosed that there was an increase of waterborne diseases from 300 to 1,000 cases between July and October 2021, which she attributed to poor sanitation in densely populated areas. Meanwhile, a resident of George compound has called for government intervention in resolving the waterborne problem. Alex Chishemba found this report.
Following a sharp increase in diarrheal diseases in Lusaka's compounds, the development which has worried citizens of George compound calling for government intervention in settling water problem, which is among the major causes of the said diseases. This follows a recent ministerial statement by the Health Minister, Sylvia Masebo, who disclosed an increase in typhoid and other waterborne diseases from 300 to 1,000 cases between July and October 2021. Ms. Masebo attributed the increase of cases to poor sanitation, consumption of untreated water, especially in highly densely populated areas such as Matero, Kanyama, and George compound, among others. Camnet TV gets to interview one of the residents in the area to investigate their response to this development.
Timakwanisa kuyakonga kuti tipike. So timamwa chabe direct. Timatapa chabe kupombi. So tikatapa tika mabaketi. Timamwa mabaketi straight. So ya time ya tikapauza boiling amanzi. Tiza ati kuli kuboiling abati stima vikonga. So food problem ati nayo manzi. So kuzapeza sometimes the old day no manzi. Yabwera mazuru. The problem ati nayo sikulokwa kwa George. Manzi yavuta. Vama yavala chabe bene vake kuja but simanzi ati afuni kuvuta but pesa kati vama yavala. So ino time mutima kutika ntawe yavuta manzi.
She explains that the water problem in the area has caused many to opt in the use of shallow wells, which pose a danger to their health.
Sometimes mkamba utapa pina ku 22 hours mkatipa pombi. So ndiye ma challenge ameti nayo so monga mapombi kwevi simbe zati tandizako monga ise bazimaita vutika bule msiachita bwanje siasira kwa mevi chokela vifuba kwa mene batulula abantu mili kupya loko manzi hapa mgodi ya milanga tatapa che wasambika mwana ya mungena ko mkamwa uzeta azadwa mayese tabakuru tipo samba tizaza different yangeni semkama chifukwa ati yaziba so manje bana nanga.
As the rainy season approaches, tightened interventions should be put in place to avoid further increase in diarrhea cases. Alex Shimba, Camnet News in Lusaka.
31 illegal makeshift trading stores are erected along the road reserve in Lusaka's Comesa area have still not been demolished by the Lusaka City Council despite directives from the Ministry of Local Government. This has contributed to the continued mushrooming of other makeshift trading stores on undesignated sites around Lusaka Central Business District. LCC Town Clerk Mr. Alex Mwansa, however, says the delay has been due to lack of alternative trading places for the traders.
During one of Zambia's greatest cholera outbreaks in 2018, street vendors were swept off the streets by the Lusaka City Council LCC in order to create sanity. However, this led to a mushrooming of illegal makeshift trading stores within markets on undesignated land. A case in point is the 31 makeshift trading stores in Lusaka's Comesa market, which were constructed along a road reserve and have in turn inconvenienced legal shop owners as they are located right in front of them. Directives from the Ministry of Local Government have been coming in, with some dated as far back as 2019 for the Lusaka City Council to demolish the structures, but these stand untouched to date. This has further led to an increase in mushrooming of other illegal developers. This illegality has also brought with it vices such as indiscriminate littering, among others. Lusaka City Council Town Clerk Mr. Alex Mwansa, however, has defended the decision for the council not to demolish the structures, stating that this was due to limitations in trading places, but asked that the market traders will be offered trading places in the Simon Mewale market once it is commissioned.
No, there's no corruption. I think the decision to delay their movement was made by the Minister of Local Government there, and I don't think there was any corruption involved. And even this one has been done through a consultative process. All stakeholders were involved in arriving at the decision that was made by the ministry and the local and the Lusaka City Council. But we wait for someone to be ready, then they will be asked to resettle them.
The traders, however, have expressed concern that moving to the said market is on the condition that they are given offer letters among many applicants. They state that the only solution is to create markets that will cater for all market traders.
Ndiye mapresha mina mara kwa mashop zenda kuti ndi mashop ya kutopeza
so atimali pila rent kwi ndani
bene makashop ubenango bene make bari umu zona sokiyemo benango bagulisa mobeka benango tripira marent
ya malo ya miniti nayo futi na ma containers so ya ma containers to ajishita nindalama so ifo bareto okusaidi no queen na fox to ba affected na kwena kuti batoba so no manga batoba ifu bakatola kwisa kozinga batoba nishinefu batona wila life turasunga abana peno potsungira abana potulisha abana tatwasambira ko basitura mu 4 inch tatakwata mapepa nangu twalikwata mapepa inch tashimonika these days.
For now, the task remains with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. As well, acknowledging the need to create markets, the head of state has given a directive for all illegalities to be put to an end. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The United Party for National Development Administration has unveiled the 173 billion kwacha 2022 national budget under the theme Growth, Job Creation and Bringing Development to the People. Speaking when he presented the budget to the National Assembly, Minister of Finance Tumbeko Msokotwane says the budget will address key economic challenges the country has faced in the last years. Mr. Msokotwane says government has proposed a number of changes which he hoped will spur economic development and alleviate poverty. Prudence Jota was there and brought us this.
Party for National Development UPND administration has unveiled its first ever national budget to the National Assembly worth 173 billion kwacha under the theme Growth, Job Creation and Bringing Development Close to the Zambian People. One of the major highlights of the budget is the fact that government has increased the Constituency Development Fund allocation from 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million kwacha per constituency.
The enhanced CDF is another initiative that government is put in place to help in job creation. Within the CDF are the empowerment schemes that will now reach each and every constituency. Youth and women can access this assistance for business opportunities. Madam Speaker, the most interesting aspect of the enhanced CDF, though, as far as job creation is concerned, is that government wants to see the local people themselves to be the beneficiaries of the enhanced CDF.
Another major highlight of the budget is the fact that government has announced that it will recruit 30,000 teachers and 11,000 health professionals.
The Dawn administration has found the money to recruit the teachers. Madam Speaker, for the first time in the history of this country, we will recruit 30,000 teachers. This is more than what we've hired in the past 10 years put together. The recruitment will help to reduce the backlog of unemployed teachers over the next 5 years. Madam, tuition, parent-teacher association fees, examination fees, and the tuition fees, those will be abolished.
The national budget has lived beyond the people's expectation. Its implementation remains key at developing the Zambian economy. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
All right, at this point, we connect to our colleague, development activist, Ms. Maunda, who is going to just help us briefly analyze the budget that was presented. You are aware, obviously, that the Minister of Finance, and this is the first time an ambitious budget is being presented by the UPND administration, which is about 173 billion kwacha, representing an increase of 54 billion kwacha from the 2021 budget, which was about 119 billion kwacha. Maunda, welcome to this interaction.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
What's your brief description of the budget? I know it seems so ambitious. There's a marginal increase from the 2021 budget. Is it attainable, or is it realistic, for lack of a better term?
Well, I missed it. The line is quite bad, so if you mind repeating your question.
Is the budget that was presented today realistic? Are we able to attend this budget, considering the fact that the UPND, when they attend office, they mentioned that they inherited empty coffers?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? Okay, we will connect to our colleague there who will just help us briefly analyze what it means to have such a budget for a country that has a lot of debt and a lot of economic issues. We move on in the news where Patriotic Front member of the Central Committee, Ronald Chitotela, says he is happy that the UPND government will continue with some policies initiated by the Patriotic Front. The Pambashe constituency lawmaker, however, wonders where resources will be found to finance the budget. He says this will focus on providing checks and balances on the implementation of the budget. Let's listen to this.
The good policies of the Patriotic Front, that is good. And the other thing I must speak on, Dr. Skunza is a very good macroeconomist. What he was reading was a cabinet position, but his position is what is called the off-cap. To say he's struggling now to raise money to pay the civil servants. Now, we are questioning, he's targeting to employ 44,000 new civil servants next year. That amounts to over 1.2 billion in Kwacha in terms of salary. Right now he's complaining that he's struggling to raise money from the taxes to meet the salary requirement. That is his proposition. He had no choice but to read the cabinet position, but his belief in his heart of heart is what is spoke of. And we'll be watching. We'll see next year, making sure that what he has announced is implemented. If it comes to pass, it will be good for the people of Zambia. It will be good for all of us.
All right, as earlier stated, we go back to our colleague, Ms. Maunda, who is a development economist. He will just help us briefly analyze what it means to have a budget that has increased by about 54 billion kwacha from the 2021 national budget, considering that Zambia is a country that is still grappling economically. Maunda, welcome to this interview.
Thank you for having me.
All right, just briefly highlight what you feel and your immediate feeling about this budget that was presented this afternoon.
Well, my immediate feeling is that we are moving in the right direction. generally what people would do in circumstances like this, they would propose that we have a more austerity budget. And if you read economics, you will notice that there is no austerity budget that have grown the economy. Okay. So this expansive and growth budget is what we needed. And because of that, I think this was a well-thought budget. Very critical areas have received, critical money. Money in decentralization is going to stimulate demand, and it is that demand that is going to now force productive forces to begin to produce. And once that cycle is completed, you will now be able to stabilize the economy and then move into the needed growth, which is part of this theme of the budget. So my general overview is that this was a well-thought strategic document or policy document to say.
Well thought, but then when we look at their pronouncement, where do you think the resources will come from to facilitate the implementation of this budget?
Well, I think number one, you notice that they've highlighted how they want to broaden domestic revenue, and ZRA has been doing that. You see that we are closing this year. We plan to just get over and above 68 billion, but we are going to end with 99 billion. So it shows you that our economy, if allowed, to operate significantly, you will get enough resources that will help you finance this budget. So I think what we need is to stimulate the economy. Once the economy is stimulated, you'll be able to raise that amount of money that is needed. And I think we have that capacity. That's what we needed to begin with. So that in itself. But also remember that we also have a special withdrawing right, which the minister also refers to. That in itself gives us capacity. We are planning to restructure debt. Restructuring debt means it will free up some cash that we are supposed to pay in terms of servicing debt. What that means, it gives you a sort of physical space, and you've seen the projected physical growth that the minister is suggesting. So all of these put together, and again, the minister is going ahead to get an IMF program. So once all of that is done, you will have enough resources within the economy. And remember that there is massive investment in the productive sector. That in itself will also broaden revenue collection. So I don't think I would doubt the ability to raise 173 billion from where we're standing today.
Maunda, you are a development activist. Obviously, education plays an important role. We've seen an increase from an allocation of 13.8 billion kwacha to about 18 billion kwacha 2022. Your view on that?
Well, I think it's a welcome move. We're supposed to get to 20%, but looking at where we're coming from, and earlier before the budget was presented, I think I alluded to the fact that we needed to invest into the education sector rapidly, not just to continue recruiting teachers or to have a lot of young people get into these classes, but also we need deliberate money that is going to allow us to cover up and regain the time we've lost during COVID. Remember that our education sector lost a lot of time, and we need a very strategic plan if our education system is going to be meaningful and also productive for us to sustain. So I think that increment in the education sector is welcome, and we are hoping that cooperating partners will also add to that budgeted figure of 18 billion. So for me, it's a welcome move, considering the situation where we are in, coming off COVID. We needed an increment in the education sector. We needed to provide, that space for teachers to come in and try and, end the time that we lost, the class time, but also the quality of education that we needed.
So there's also an increase in the health sector as well, and among other sectors. But then what's your, my question, my bone of contention and other stakeholders that we've spoken to immediately after the budget was presented is that, is this budget really, really attainable? I know you've mentioned we are able to do this, but realistically speaking, we don't have money. We don't have anything. As per the UPND government when they came into power, when they started driving the wheels of this economy. Why are you so optimistic that this budget is really what Zambians needed?
Well, you could see the stability of your kwacha in the recent past to 17. That tells you that you have sufficient, reserves that are showing an indication that you are generating money. Number two, when we say ZRA has passed the target of what we're supposed to do in August, means that the economy is showing you indicators that it wants to grow. So all it needs is freer space. Number three, you just signed, the debt suspension initiative. What that means is that it gives you space to save within the economy, so that you can put that money in the productive sector. Once you put that money in the productive sector, it gives you ability to now get the money. Look at the plan that they have to expand copper production. The sooner we do that, the quicker we will have ability to finance this. Copper is trading high, and you had the projection from the minister that in the few years to come, what you are noticing is that copper will be as lucrative as oil it was in 1970s in the Middle East. So all of these factors, Sharon, gives you an indication that there is no doubt for us to say we can't raise, $173 billion. We have a lot of potential. If this corruption fight is what we think it is, and it's clean and it seal up the loopholes, we deal with illicit financial flows, we maximize the investment in the artisanal mining, you will notice that we are going to raise enough revenue. We had a lot of leakages. That is why money, would be seen.
Okay.
I was laughing with someone today. I said people are doubting that 30,000 teachers cannot be paid, and I was referring to the 65 million quarter which was found in someone's house. I said that is equivalent to paying 13,000 teachers. So you look at those things and say, if we still have all of these corrupt loopholes, our productive sector is pushed up, private sector is coming on board, you are getting money putting into constituencies, generating income from agriculture. The minister just lifted the ban on the tax that was put on exporting maize. So all of that begins to show you that we have ability to raise this money. What we needed this type of ambitious budget so that the government knows that we can generate this income, and cooperating partners are coming on board. So there are all of these indicators. Once you get an IMF program, you generate confidence. The president says he's going to the UK, and part of his meeting is going to meet the Eurobond creditors that we have there. So we have all of these opportunities for us to generate. So I don't think would be failing to raise that amount of money unless the government is not sure with what it's doing.
Interesting there. Okay, I know you're very positive about this budget, like many other people out there, despite us receiving other mixed reactions over this, especially from the opposition political parties as usual. But then, is there something negative that you feel should have been done better? I know it's a proposal of a budget, but is there something that you feel should have been done in the other way, under a minute or less?
Well, there are a few things. You've noticed that in trying to get a lot of these opportunities, and those are the next things that we are going to do as we give a comprehensive feedback on this budget. The ministers highlighted a number of places where we are losing revenue. They've suspended tax in a number of areas. The mine taxability has been dropped. All of those things. So he was mentioning here we are losing 54 million, here we're losing. So that in itself becomes a danger to implementing this budget effectively, and we need to make sure that we recover those losses that we've gotten. So I think in a nutshell, in trying to get a bigger portion out there of what people wanted, we might just be risking. So I felt like we needed to calculate. That's one one thing that I have seen there. There is no deliberate money specifically for small scale and medium scale. That tells you this money is directly going there.
Yeah.
The minister is hoping that CDF would be used for that purpose. But CDF would be more developmental, and the businesses that he was referring to might not be sustainable. You just get 10-5 do that. So there are a few things that after we analyze this budget correctly, we will pull out and say here and here might compromise this budget flexibility that we so need for us to get. But ultimately, we need a growth budget. We need an expansive budget for us to get to have it.
Thank you so much for joining us via this call to just have that brief conversation over the national budget that was presented this afternoon. We now go to other news stories relating to the budget, where various stakeholders have reacted to the 2022 national budget, implored the move to take services to the people under the decentralization concept. Former Finance Minister Ngandu Magande has described the budget as unique because it has diverted from previous budgets by taking money closer to the people.
The 2022 national budget has been presented, and various stakeholders feel the budget is unique and diverse as it brings out a number of issues that have never been part of national budgets. The new twist to the budget is the aspect of increasing CDF allocation from 1.6 million kwacha per constituency to 25.7 million kwacha. Various stakeholders reacted to this gesture.
At least 30,000 teachers of the more than 60,000 who are trained are going to be employed. This is a very good development. It will help not only the teachers themselves, but even the learners. Some schools have been operating at even below half capacity. So we shall see an improvement in service delivery in the aspect in the education sector. The health sector has also been given at least 11,000 new health workers, which again is a delivery of the campaign promises by way of ensuring that there is an improvement on health service delivery. The retirees, there is a promise that they will be paid. These are all.
You need to answer this. Now, people are asking the question, will this be attained? Definitely it will be attained. It's about discipline, about frugality, about accountability, about transparency, about prioritization. You prioritize expenditure, you can achieve this. You are indisciplined in expenditure, you can't achieve anything. We already saw what happened in the Public Accounts Auditor General's report. Much of the money that could have been channeled in all these areas can be accounted for. It dissolved along the way. But discipline and accountability and focus will help this. One thing I'm happy about.
Former Finance Minister Ngandu Magande shared his perspective on taking services closer to the people.
And if we are getting more of you with those ideas, then it simply means I think the budget has provided an environment for your creation of jobs, not only to be employed, but to be engaged. That's the difference now. We should be saying, I don't want to be employed, I want to be engaged. So that in fact, individually, you are going to get all these resources into the district, and then you think of what to do next. I think that is the major departure from the budgets like the one I have handled since 1971, when I was the Director of Budget in the Ministry of, in the Ministry of Finance.
I'm going to bid and do that. So they're creating jobs at the community level. They're creating opportunities at the community level. For me, I think that's huge. Because like the minister says, it's not everybody that can get a job. But if everybody can tap into these opportunities and say we can do something, then everybody must do something. So for me, the big winners were the CDF fund, the manufacturing, the agriculture, the restructuring of Zambia's debt. I think that's good. And just putting a policy framework
it's a clear statement that we're coming from a very difficult situation and it required a disruptive approach. So this budget is disruptive. It's cracking to the core of the problem in terms of economic transformation. It's cracking to the core of the problem that is taking the money to where it matters, at the bottom. So the Minister of Finance has put colossal amounts of money at constituency level, where people must be engaged and involved in determining their development journey. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
However, we only anticipate the implementation process. Patrick Soko, Camnet News at Parliament Building.
However, from the budget, where former State House Press Aide Amos Chanda has charged that the search conducted by the Anti-Corruption Commission at one of his residences in State Lodge is unlawful and must not be tolerated. Addressing the media Friday afternoon, Mr. Chanda claimed that he was being treated like a common criminal by the Commission. He explained that during the search, some documents and properties went missing, and the 95,000 kwacha money seized by the Commission belongs to his tenant. Mr. Chanda, however, says that the warrant was also not served during the time the Commission conducted the search.
Notwithstanding that from the day they started the investigation, all the actions have been unlawful. All the 3 actions have been unlawful. And therefore, my appeal to the SEC and or any other investigative agency that is pursuing so-called suspects of plunder or anything is to apply the law fairly. There is no one law for Amos Chanda, whether it's from Mars or Jupiter, whether it's from Choma or Chinsari, Ketauke or Kaoma. There is only one law. The organic law of the land, the Constitution of Zambia, Article 18, presumes every citizen innocent until proven otherwise. The law also obligates investigative agencies that to be charged with any offense under written law, that offense shall be executed under written law. I'm being treated like a common criminal or one that can be judged by unwritten law.
The government has suspended the issuance of investment license permits for the establishment of multi-facility economic zones, industrial parks, investment promotion and protection agreements under the Zambia Development Agency. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, told the media that a comprehensive review will be conducted, which will conclude checking on the levels of compliance to licensing conditions. Meanwhile, Mr. Mulenga has since dissolved the Board of Directors for the Zambia Development Agency and the Patents and Company Registration Agency, PACRA.
While investment is important for the development of a country, some investors in Zambia have not been living up to their investment permit agreement, which has seen the country lose revenue in form of taxes. While the vice has been going on for some time now, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mulenga has intervened to ensure that a conducive business environment is created and also ensure that companies live up to their investment certification and pay the right amount of taxes. And speaking at a media briefing held in Lusaka Friday morning, the minister has since suspended the issuance of investment licenses and permits for some sectors. The minister has also informed the nation that his ministry is actively dealing with the high cost of doing business and other challenges faced by the private sector. Mr. Mlenga says the ministry is working at reconvening the Zambia Business Council under the chairmanship of President Hakainde Hichilema. The minister has since dissolved the board of directors for the Zambia Development Agency ZDA and the Patent and Company Registration Agency PACRA, while the board of the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission CCPC will continue to perform its duties because of the quasi-judicial function that it performs, but says a new board will be announced soon. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Examination Council of Zambia says it has amended the rules for the awarding of the General Certificate of Education, GCE, to allow it meet comparative international standards effective 2021. Speaking at a media briefing held in Lusaka Friday, ECZN Director General Michael Chilala says the GCE will now only be awarded to a candidate when the subject and grades passed meet the standard for award of the school certificate. Mr. Chilala has clarified that implementing the new regulation, the General Certificate of Education obtained for the ECZ effective 2021 is a direct equivalent of the school certificate. And Mr. Chilala has called on teachers and their unions, security wings, examination candidates and all other stakeholders to guard against all forms of examination malpractices. You're watching Camnet News. We take our first set of commercials. When we return, we have more interesting stories. Stay with us.
This is the Rusitu Irrigation Project. It's a government project funded by the World Bank through IDSP.
The project involved laying over 18 kilometers worth of interlinked water pipes that will supply water to the 280 hectares land for small-scale and commercial farmers in Rusitu of Chirundu district. We worked on 35 kilometers of the road network and also constructed 159 concrete water hydrants of different sizes in all 3 tiers. The state-of-the-art water pumping station at the banks of the Zambezi is fitted with 9 water pumps, a dedicated concrete reservoir, a 500 kV automated standby generator, a fully automated pump switching system that is interlinked with a second reservoir of 27,000 cubic liters capacity, which is fitted with 7 water pumps, a standby generator and floater tanks for that extra water pressure on the irrigation lines. Savenda Construction is grateful to the Zambian government and the World Bank for giving us the opportunity to be part of the history of Lesotho, as the project will benefit over 282 households once completed, and is just one of the many that Savenda Construction has embarked on, owing to its track record and capacity to deliver as per requirement. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is number one when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 2444 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying on. The Lusaka High Court has set 3rd November 2021 as the date for the Democratic Party members to respond to the preliminary issues raised by Harry Kalaba's lawyers Friday morning when the matter came up for an inter-party hearing. In this matter, DP Vice President Judith Kabemba and Justin Konge have dragged Kalaba to court, seeking injunction to refrain him from holding himself as party president. Miriam Kayamba filed this report.
As party wrangles continue in the opposition Democratic Party under the leadership of embattled President Harry Kalaba, the case before the Lusaka High Court, where he has been dragged to court by his own party members, continues. The party Vice President Judith Kabemba and his counterpart for finance, Justin Konge, have dragged Mr. Kalaba to court, seeking an injunction restraining him from masquerading as DP president or purporting to transact any business in the party's name. When the matter came up for inter-party hearing Friday morning, lawyers representing Mr. Kalaba raised preliminary issues which the court has given the other party a chance to respond next week.
Because our lawyers raised a number of preliminary issues that the court has to determine on. So because of that, the matter has been adjourned to the 3rd, because our colleagues have been given also a chance to respond to the preliminary issues. So I think for now that is the status quo. The issue has been adjourned because we raised the preliminary issues, and the court has to make a determination on those preliminary issues before we proceed for other things.
According to a statement of claim filed last week in the High Court, Ms. Kabemba and Mr. Konge submitted that despite having been invited and sponsored as presidential candidate in the 2021 general elections, Mr. Kalaba was not registered office for DP nor had he been elected as party president. And further, they claimed in their submissions that there was lack of financial transparency and accountability on the part of Mr. Kalaba, as he did not disclose the source of funds donated to the party, as well as the other amounts, which was contrary to Articles 23 and 27 of the DP Constitution.
Where the matter was coming up for inter-party hearing concerning the injunction, which we had filed to ask one Harry Kalaba to stop masquerading and carrying himself as party president. And today was date for hearing, and when the matter came up, our colleagues raised some preliminary issues before we get to the matter at hand. And the preliminary issues which they have raised, the judge has guided that they need to give us time to respond to that preliminary issue. So we will be responding by 3rd November, which is just next week, and it's from 3rd November when the judge will actually now call us for the inter-party hearing concerning the injunction. We may be aware that our colleagues are doing things haphazardly. They only filed such preliminaries yesterday after 18, contrary to the rules of service of documents.
The matter comes up on the 3rd of November 2021. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Meanwhile, 7 bus drivers from Lusaka City Market Bus Station have dragged 14 of their colleagues to the Lusaka High Court seeking an order of interim injunction restraining those chasing them from operating from the station. According to the statement of claim filed in the court, the drivers state that they have been operating at the station under the Chongo route since 1993 and have always operated peacefully with due regard of the rules and regulations stipulated for the bus station. But after the election in August 2021, their colleagues chased them from operating at the station, a situation which has affected their livelihoods. Meanwhile, 4 Kolimata bus station drivers are appearing before court on a similar matter.
Earlier this month, the Lusaka's Magistrate Court granted an injunction restraining some suspected United Party for National Development inclined bus drivers from harassing and chasing some suspected Patriotic Front bus drivers from Kolimatawa bus station. In this case, 4 bus drivers, namely Felix Mumba, Ernest Chansa, David Skapazia, and Charles Mbulo, all operating from Kolimatawa bus station, filed a lawsuit against Nicholas Banda and 3 others for allegedly chasing them from the station after the 12th August general elections. Friday morning, the said bus drivers appeared before the Lusaka Subordinate Court for hearing of their case, but the matter was adjourned after lawyers representing the defendants requested for more time to study the case. The magistrate presiding over the case, Alice Walusiku, then adjourned the matter to next month. Meanwhile, 7 bus drivers from Lusaka City Market bus station have also run to the Lusaka High Court seeking similar relief sought by their colleagues before the Magistrate Court. The 7 drivers have submitted that despite operating from City Market bus station from 1993, just after the August general elections, 14 of their colleagues chased them from the station. Dennis Moyo and 6 others have cited Christopher Mavia, Sam Daka, Ernest Mumba, Morgan Gondo, among others as defendants in the matter. The plaintiffs have told the court that they have been seriously inconvenienced and harassed and have continued to lose business as their business accumulates funds from trips on a daily basis, which has now been made impossible due to the defendants' actions. They are, however, seeking a payment of 710,000 kwacha, being sums accumulated due to loss of business for a period of 2 months, and a declaration that the defendants' conduct of chasing them from the bus station is illegal, now and void, as it is only the Lusaka City Council that has the mandate legally to refuse or allow access in every bus station in Lusaka. The 7 drivers are further seeking an order of interim injunction to stop 14 of their colleagues from chasing them from the station. The matter continues before court. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
This is Camnet News. We take another set of commercials. When we return, we have sports and international news.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry. There's so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
This is the Rusitu irrigation project. It's a government project funded by the World Bank through IDSP.
The project involved laying over 18 kilometers worth of interlinked water pipes that will supply water to the 280 hectares land for small-scale and commercial farmers in Lusitu of Chirundu district. We worked on 35 kilometers of the road network and also constructed 159 concrete water hydrants of different sizes in all 3 tiers. The state-of-the-art water pumping station at the banks of the Zambezi is fitted with 9 water pumps, a dedicated concrete reservoir, a 500 kV automated standby generator, a fully automated pump switching system that is interlinked with a second reservoir of 27,000 cubic liters capacity, which is fitted with 7 water pumps, a standby generator and floater tanks for that extra water pressure on the irrigation lines. Savenda Construction is grateful to the Zambian government and the World Bank for giving us the opportunity to be part of the history of Lusitu, as the project will benefit over 282 households once completed and is just one of the many that Savenda Construction has embarked on, owing to its track record and capacity to deliver as per requirement. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties on +260 762 166018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Welcome back. In international news, Rwandan troops in northern Mozambique have helped the government regain Cabo Delgado, an energy-rich territory that an armed group seized. The 4-year conflict has killed thousands of people and hundreds of thousands have been displaced in the region, which has multi-billion-dollar gas project. Rwanda says it is funding the military operation, but rights groups have questioned if other players might be involved. Here's a roundup of international stories.
ECOWAS arrived on Thursday at Guinean capital Conakry for a 3-day visit. The visit comes almost 2 months after ECOWAS suspended Guinea's membership following a coup in the country in early September. The delegation is led by Commission President Jean-Claude Cassibrou. The transition has produced the charter. Important appointments have been made and the government is gradually being set up. So we are here to meet with the authorities and take stock of the situation and to see to what extent ECOWAS can provide practical support to the process underway. The atmosphere is calm. We are meeting again and we expect a lot from ECOWAS, its accompaniment, its support. And I'm sure that we will have fruitful discussions. So he's at home here. On September the 5th, a military uprising led by Mamadi Doumbouya overthrew President Alpha Condé, dismissed the government and announced the transitional charter. Doumbouya was sworn in as transitional president on October the 1st and pledged to respect the country's international commitments.
More than 700,000 people have fled their homes in northern Mozambique in the last 4 years. An armed group called Al-Shabaab has attacked towns and villages. It says it wants to bring Islamic law to the province. Its fighters have beheaded people and abducted others. The people who fled to this town told us they don't understand why.
As we were running to the forest, they took 3 of my children, so I don't know what happened to them. Why they decided to take my kids, I don't know.
It was here, at the Amarula Hotel in the town of Palma, that the armed group drew more international attention than ever before. It attacked the town in March. The hotel was popular with contractors servicing a nearby natural gas project. It was besieged for days. Dozens died trying to escape. Weeks later, French oil giant Total suspended its operations in the area and pulled out its workers. It had been preparing to extract $20 billion worth of offshore natural gas. Then in July, Rwandan troops arrived to help the government forces. Over the following months, they fought the armed group out of the towns and villages it controlled. They celebrated their gains together at this parade. Mozambique's armed forces had failed to contain the insurgency. The Rwandan troops have had much more success. But there are questions around who's paying for their operation. A lot of their equipment, like the helmets that they're wearing, looks new. It's all in an agreement between the presidents of the two countries, but the terms of that agreement aren't entirely clear. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame says Rwanda is simply helping an ally and funding the operation itself.
We need friends to help Mozambique and in dealing with this challenge. Rwanda is just making its own contribution.
But Mozambican rights groups wonder if Rwanda could even afford the costs, which have included importing fleets of military vehicles, and why it would pay.
It is not part of the good governance of conflict resolution that it is not clear as to who is paying the bill of the multinational forces that are helping a certain country to fight the violent extremism.
Many observers suspect France could be paying because of Total's fossil fuel interests, or that French President Emmanuel Macron brokered a deal. He met with the presidents of both Mozambique and Rwanda earlier this year. When he visited Rwanda in May, Macron promised 500 million euros of development aid and spoke of helping regional responses, including in Mozambique. But France has neither confirmed nor denied if it's funding the Rwandan troops on the ground. There are also questions around who's funding their enemy, Al-Shabaab. Aging rifles captured from them by the Rwandan forces don't suggest they have a lot of money. ISIL has claimed responsibility for some of the attacks, but local discontent with the government is more apparent than foreign connections. For many, it's not clear who's behind the forces fighting in the conflict. What is clear is that both local grievances and $20 billion worth of natural gas lie in the middle of it. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Pemba, Mozambique.
We now look at sports news. Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reportedly has 3 months to save his job at Old Trafford after the weekend humiliation at the hands of Liverpool, starting with Saturday's cheeky looting clash at Tottenham, live on Sky Sports. Solskjaer has come under huge pressure this week following Sunday's 5-0 home thrashing at rivals Liverpool. As a result, that has also put the focus firmly on the manager's team selection so far this season. United splashed the cash last summer in order to sign England forward Jadon Sancho and experienced France defender Raphael Varane, and of course to bring Cristiano Ronaldo back to the club. Well, that item ends our news this evening. The headlines once again. Free education comes to life in 2022 as government proposes an ambitious 173 billion kwacha national budget. The Patriotic Front shifts binoculars to the 2022 national budget. High Court commences hearing of the Democratic Party in Harry Kalawa's case. In international news, ECOWAS delegation in Guinea meets with new government. And in sports, SOLSKJAER reportedly has 3 games to save his job at Trafford. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, and it's coming from 2 Corinthians verse 6 to 14, and it reads, He said, Lord, the God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven or on earth, you who keep your covenant of love with your servants, who continue to wholeheartedly in your way. And that's all we have for you on the desk this evening. Thank you so much for choosing us. Keep watching Camnet TV.